Now before we jump right into the rules, you want to grab some family, grab some friends, get your skunk dice, and find a nice place to set up, relax, and play some games. Now when it comes to deciding who goes first, we highly recommend rolling the skunk dice to see who gets the most skunks, and that player will get to choose any elective rules from the rule cards for that upcoming game. For the purpose of this how-to video, we're going to be going ahead with just the regular standard skunk rules, no elective rule cards, but we will go over those in future videos. One of the first things we need to talk about when playing Skunk'd is the different ways you can score. First and foremost in Skunk'd, rolling 5s will yield you 50 points, while rolling our silly little skunk that replaces the 1 will be worth 100. Next up is going to be our stripes roll, which is achieved by rolling 3 pairs all at once, and is worth 1,000 points. Next up we have a polecat, which is a silly nickname given to our little stinkers by our European friends when they first encountered them because they had never seen them before and mistook them for some wild ferrets. To achieve a polecat, all you need to do is roll a straight skunk 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 all in one roll worth 1,500 points. Now one of the most important scoring combinations in the game of Skunk'd is the mega. This is what we call our 3-of-a-kind rolls, which can happen in your skunks 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s, and have their own varying values, which you can see on screen now. Now megas can also happen in 4-of-a-kind, 5-of-a-kind, and 6-of-a-kind, and affect the score values as follows. You can also get a double mega, which happens when you roll 2 3-of-a-kinds at the same time, and this essentially doubles the score of those 2 mega values. The power of the mega does not stop there. Once a player has a mega in 2s, 3s, 4s, or 6s in their den, rolling any other die in that sequence matching that mega becomes a scoring dice. To give you an example, say we have 400 points in the den in the form of 3 4s, and then on our next roll, we roll 1 4. That 4 we can add to the den as 400 points. If we were to have rolled 2 4s, that first 4 is worth 400, and the second one is now doubled worth 800. And of course, you guessed it, if a third 4 had been rolled, that third 4 would have doubled the 800 to 1,600 points. So doing the math on the example here, with the 400 points in the den, with the additional 400 from the first 4, 800 from the second, and 16 from the third, we've scored 3,200 points in rolling. Now the next scoring combination to talk about is a carbuncle, which gets its name from South American folklore for a legendary species of small animals. A carbuncle has 2 variations. A single carbuncle occurs when rolling a pair of 2s, 3s, 4s, or 6s that allows you to pick up all 6 dice and continue rolling. Now take this roll for example, we have 3 skunks, a 5, and 2 4s. Those 3 skunks are worth 1,000 points. We add the 50 from the 5, giving us 1,050, but that pair of 4s now with the single carbuncle rule adds 250 for a total of 1,300 points and rolling. Now a double carbuncle is exactly how it sounds. It's going to be when you roll 2 pairs of 2s, 3s, 4s, or 6s that allows you to pick up all 6 dice and continue rolling. Now in this example here, we have rolled a skunk, a 5, 2 3s, and 2 4s. The skunk and the 5 are going to give us 150 points. The double carbuncle, worth 500, is going to total us up to 650 points and rolling. Now, one of our favorite ways to put points on the board, even if it might not happen that often, is what we like to call the single skunk. Now, a single skunk occurs when during your rolling sequence, you have rolled 5 skunks in a row, one at a time, picking up that 6th and final dice and rolling yourself a 6th and final skunk for a total of 6,000 points. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the game-changing single skunk. Now, at any point during your turn, if you are unable to take dice and put them into your den on any given roll, you have skunked. All points for this turn are now forfeited, and you will pass the dice to the next player. Now, this can happen with any number of dice in your den, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or it could happen on your very first roll. Now, if somehow you manage on your first roll to not achieve one single scoring dice or set of dice, you, my friend, have super skunked. In this moment, we now recommend that this individual don the official Skunk'd Super Stinker headband or some other silly little headwear you may have around to commemorate this moment of stinkery. And yes, you will pass this on to the next person who's super skunked. Now that we've learned all the ways to score and not score on this sensational dice rolling adventure, let's discuss how to win. Getting to 10,000 or whatever number you set as your finish line is no easy feat. The first player to put points on the board, putting them past that marker, initiates Skunk'd Overtime. Now, Skunk'd Overtime kind of works like King of the Hill, where each next player to go must outscore the current leader on the scoreboard. If they are unable to do so, they are out of the game. Play continues until there is one player left, and that player is declared the winner of Skunk'd.